Hello, and welcome to another episode of the
Lume Plotters.
Yeah. So much of energy, so much of excitement.
Yes, very much of everything. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood today for no reason.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, I'm in a bad mood, but that's
Yes.
okay.
Why? Why are you in a bad mood?
I have a bit of a headache. I didn't sleep well. I just came back from a family visit. One of my family members is not doing great, so I'm just not in the best of moods. But it's hey. On the other hand, I have some little silly thing to distract myself from that because I have a new watch, and yeah. So that brings me back into a good mood, though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. On the other hand, I'm just excited because we were trying. I don't know if I told you the story, but we were going to go visit my family in Hungary, and Wizz Air, who I like flying because it's my only Hungarian airline that's left, and it's dirt cheap. Canceled our flights out of the blue, and they're just like, your flight is canceled. So then they gave us a choice. For those of you listening, this is kind of a cool thing. I have a few friends in the Hungarian, community here that do this, and they say they book flights a year in advance with the hopes that they will get canceled. So they will book things that are the cheapest flights they can, find. And these are like 99 dirhams a flight, right?
Okay.
Because the trick is if they cancel your flight, they are legally obligated to rebook you to one of the nearest airports or give you a 120-day window to rebook your flight for. So essentially, you get the worst ticket and they cancel it, and now you rebook within 120 days to maybe a peak travel day.
Oh.
So it's a fantastic way of kind of playing a little roulette and seeing if you're going to win. But the same thing happened. I was flying into Romania because it was actually a 3-hour drive to the town that we're going to in Hungary, which is the same as if I go to Budapest. But the Budapest airport was much more expensive to fly into. So I said, okay, I'll go to Romania. So Romanian flights canceled.
Okay.
And now I got it reset because they gave me 3 options of which airport I would like to go and when. So I rebooked it for the Budapest airport, which now the downside here is everything in Budapest was more expensive than in Romania. So I was a little bummed out. We had great Airbnbs picked out. We were going to go visit Dracula's castle and do all the cool stuff in Transylvania that I've never done before. So I was really bummed out. We've got to cancel, go back to Hungary, and all we ever go is to go to Hungary. So it's not really a vacation, right? It's not as much fun as it could have been.
I'm with you. With the family visits is sometimes a bit of a challenge there, right? Yeah.
So you try to combine it with something that is, fun for you, but then also you see family. And so we ended up finding, because I was just searching, and I found for our entire family, 3 people, round trip tickets. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely cheap with flights because I feel if it's less than 5 hours, it doesn't make any difference whether you're seated in a, on a stool or a luxurious, flight, lay flat seat. But we don't carry any bags. You get your one duffel bag essentially, right? We don't do any carry-ons or any big carry-on, so to speak. Yeah. So it's the 40 centimeters, which is ironically, if for those of you that have one, the Louis Vuitton duffel bag, the small one, is exactly the size that they let you carry on. My wife has also found the large size of the Longchamp bags. The Longchamp tote bags are exactly it's perfect for about a week. So we don't pay for anything extra, right? Because technically,
but you can't go in winter because you need to have much.
No, we do go in winter, and you know what we do in winter? You layer up. No, you layer up. They don't tell you how many coats you can put on. So we put on 3 coats. As soon as you get on the plane, you take them off again. It's fantastic. So you game the system. Nonetheless,
game the system.
You don't feel bad when the flight is 4 hours late. You're like, I paid 99 dirhams for this. I can't really complain. So anyway, 3 people, round trip to Bucharest, 1,000 dirhams.
Okay.
So I think that's insane, right? For that's 250 euros for 3 people round trip from UAE to Europe. You can't do better than that. So
I agree. That is a pretty good price. But
it is. So I'm always, if it's 1,000 dirhams for 3 people, I will book it regardless of where it goes to. So that's my motto.
Okay. Well,
I can't see you, Ralph. What happened?
Oh, yeah. I think my camera just decided to conk out, get on and off. Wait a second. I think it should be back on now, and I should check.
There. I see a blank screen. There
I'm
he
back.
is.
I'm back.
Anyway, so that's why I'm in a good mood. And I also am in a good mood for one other reason. I was looking at my watch collection yesterday, and this is a very scary thing.
Okay.
I was satisfied. And that is a very, very scary thing.
Unbelievable. You were just happy?
I opened them, I'm like, yeah, this is good. And that's not right.
Good. Yeah.
Something needs to be changed immediately.
Happen. You can't. How can you have to destroy that happiness? Yeah. See. Yeah. Exactly. So something similar happened. I have sold a few watches, a bit of the Casios and stuff like that. I just got a payment from Chrono24, and I want to have a small rant. On Chrono24, if you sell a watch and you enter the tracking details, right, and all of the stuff, right, and it's in this case, I managed to get a watch from here to France within 2.5 days, which I have never gotten that fast, right? Usually it takes a while. But within 2.5 days, the person had the watch. Obviously, because he didn't even expect it so fast, he wasn't there. So it got delivered 1 or 2 days later. So he got the watch, and then on Chrono24, he stopped communicating. For whatever reason, I don't know. But my point is, I am waiting on the payment release, right? Which you can then set in Chrono24, like I received the watch, all is fine.
Yeah.
Release the payment.
But there's a deadline for this.
Yes, 7 business days.
Yeah.
But then you wait 7 business days, which I did, right? So I did all my family visit in between and came back, and it still didn't happen. And then eventually the time kicked in, and the guy was happy apparently, right? I mean, because he was previously happy when he bought the watch, everything was good. He probably just didn't read his Chrono24 messages. I don't know, right? Because obviously I don't know what happened. Anyhow, so the point is, I got my money. It's just a bit... If you are happy and you received everything, there's no dispute or anything else, just go back on Chrono24 and release the payment. Don't let the people wait for their money. So that's my rant.
I agree. But I do like that there's, the grace period. I almost ran out of it once, which I was really upset with because this was when I arranged with the seller to do shop and ship.
Yes.
And so we had negotiated this, and it was showing delivered. So the 7-day clock started for him, the countdown.
It does. Yeah.
But the problem was, remember, they said that shop and ship in Hong Kong said that I was sending illegal items or whatever it was.
Oh,
which it was just the watch. So we were trying to figure out what was illegal, what was going on. Did they think it was a fake watch? I have no idea. They wouldn't say anything. But then I wrote him a long email and said, here's what's in the box. Here's all the pictures, because the seller had taken pictures of everything.
Yeah.
I sent them all of the pictures. I said, this is everything in the watch. Because apparently they had rejected it by X-ray, which then doesn't mean, I don't understand what that could be. So anyway, I said, somebody get hands on with it. They did. Then they released it, and it came literally like 2 days before the 7-day window collapsed. But in that case, if he would have sent something wrong or something, sketchy, then I wouldn't have had any recourse.
Oh, what to do?
Such is life.
Yeah, such is life. And I know sometimes it's really annoying, but these are the rules, right? Yeah. So I also got back home and I got a new watch because I sold my. So first of all, let's say what you're wearing, so then I can start my.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. I actually am wearing the exact same thing I was wearing last week when we recorded, and I didn't recognize that I was wearing the same thing. I usually try consciously to change things up, but I pick my watches based on my outfit, and that's the thing. Is I get dressed first, and then I say what watch would go with what I'm wearing, and the watch that I saw, because of my shoes that I put on, which are the Nike Kill Shot 2s, the limited edition J. Crew ones that relaunched the Kill Shot, which our good friend Julian actually commented on one time. I had a very good wrist shot with my shoes in the background, and it was my JLC, and nobody cared about the JLC. Everybody cared about the Nikes. So nonetheless, I was looking, okay, these sporty shoes, let's go with a sporty watch. And I'm wearing my Seiko SPB 411 GMT, the gray dial.
Right.
That you know very well. I've sold and I got back this guy.
Yes, the one that you explained to us last time. That you got it back from the person you sold it to.
Exactly,
if it's
Navigator
a neighbor,
timer,
right? Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a fantastic watch to wear to Romania, for instance, to GMT. So I get to track 2 time zones, and everybody sees Seiko on the dial, and no one's going to care.
Is Hungary dangerous? No, it's not, right?
It depends on where you are. I would say it's not so bad, but
can't remember.
Would I wear a sub, for instance, in the middle of Budapest? Probably not. No. Would I do it in the countryside? Absolutely. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
so it just depends on where you are, what time of day, and so forth.
When I was in Budapest, I stayed in the Kempinski, I know, and then we went to some kind of clubs, and these alternative clubs that some people who told me who lived in Budapest said you have to go. But I never thought about my watch actually at the time.
No, I used to as well.
I don't even know what I was wearing at the time.
This was, when was this? That's the thing is, I remember before COVID, I was wearing my Submariner clubbing as well. So we would go to these, nightclubs, and I had no issues wearing a Submariner. And it could have easily been stolen. But once again, at the time, nobody thought about this. Nobody cared.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't. It wasn't only. Let me see. Budapest. I can see if I took some pictures. This is the nice thing, that everything is relocated. Oh, when was that? Oh, 2017. Oh man. Of course.
Yeah. So roughly, that was.
Didn't take a wrist shot because, that was
back in 2017. We didn't have wrist shots.
I did have a few nice watches back then already, but not like that. Actually, to be fair, I didn't even have my Rolex yet. No, I had a Breitling though. Of course, I did have that one. Yeah, no idea. Cannot even see on any of my pictures that I have here which watch I was having. So that's it. I was there in September. So, weird. Yeah, can't see.
Okay.
Well, that's that then. I think I'm wearing a Porsche
now you tell us
chronograph that I don't have anymore. Yes, I have a new watch. So I'm taking it off.
You've built it up, and then you're going to let us all down.
Build it up, and then I talk about Budapest. So basically, I sold my Vacheron Constantin to overseas.
Okay.
2022. Silver dial.
Can I say I didn't like it? Can I say now I didn't like that watch?
You can say you didn't like it.
I did not like the overseas 3-hander because I thought the dial was too plain. I don't mind the dual time.
Versatile, so I liked it, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a big watch with a plain dial, and that's when I was just, nothing special to me. Okay.
Anyhow,
show me the clasp. Show me the clasp of what you have in your hand. Don't show me anything else. It's another Vacheron. Okay. Is it a dual? Is it the dual time?
No, it's the blue dial. The blue dial Vacheron Constantin overseas.
It's the same watch again.
It is the same watch. It's just a new version, that 4520V. So that's a fresh one. That's from January this year. So it's just a few weeks old. It's a baby. Yeah. So
you sold the same watch for the same watch in a different color.
Yes. And obviously there's a few changes. Of course, it's also newer and it's blue. And my God, is that blue. It's just insane.
It is a good blue. I agree.
It's lovely. Oh, it's so deep. I had this next to my new Seiko, which is also blue, right? Here, Seiko, and this one here. And I must say, they're both nice blues, but the deepness of that lacquered dial of the overseas is amazing. The new bracelet is cool. The new quick exchange is nicer, easier to use than the little... They redesigned the buttons and redesigned the position. The old straps work on the new one, but of course, the clasp is now smaller because the rubber straps and the bracelet taper more.
Okay, that's good.
So
I'm a big fan of taper.
Yeah, that is adds a bit better comfort. It's tiny, but it is actually recognizable. I mean, it's significant enough that you feel it. And the clasp itself, the quick exchange system of the clasp, where you attach the clasp to the short part of the strap, is also redesigned. Is much more robust. The old one looked and felt a bit flimsy, even though it was probably as good as it gets, but it just felt a bit flimsy. This one is now more robust. It just feels a bit more connected. Anyhow, so if anybody wants a blue strap, I have just sold my white strap, so I still have a blue one left that can go with the 4,500 versions of the overseas.
So it doesn't work with your current one?
No, because the connection for the butterfly clasp I had to, of course, sell with the old watch, so I don't have a clasp for this one. So
I see. Okay.
And of course, the blue dial comes with a blue strap anyways, with the blue leather and blue rubber, right? You get 3 straps with the watch, 1 leather, 1 rubber, and of course the bracelet. So that's pretty cool. And 1 butterfly clasp.
All for the low price of 100,000 dirhams.
In 94. But I got very lucky. Good friend, paid on the retail, so I'm very, very happy for that. And my old one got sold for a decent price. So yeah, there we go.
Well, congratulations.
Happy camper. Yes, I'm very happy with this watch. I mean, I love it. I'm in the honeymoon period, of course. Now I have my wrist track challenge that I have to get my average cost of wearing the watch down to under $500.
$1.
Yes, that will take only
divided by 4, 25,000 days.
This is a bit long.
Divide that by 365. Yeah,
I don't think I can do this during my lifetime.
No, you cannot.
Shit. Okay. So that's that. That's my new watch. And of course, as we always are, once we have a new watch, what do? We look for the next new watch. And it's just, are we silly with this whole dopamine shots?
I think we're very, very stupid. Yes, we are.
Because I actually, 100%. I'm so happy with my collection right now. I have my Daytona, which...
so you're going to screw it up, and that's exactly how things work. Sell the Daytona. Come on, sell the Daytona. No, you don't need the Daytona. Get rid of it. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to sell the Daytona, get yourself a Datejust, as you wanted. You've been wanting a Datejust. Okay, you don't need 2 Rolexes. Sell the Daytona. And then you have so much money left around for activities.
Activities.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the things you could buy. You're going to have like 60K left.
Yes, I could buy a Royal Oak Offshore for that.
Yes. That would be seriously, are you telling me this Daytona is worth a Datejust plus an offshore to you?
Yeah, see, the thing is, it is worth that money. That's the thing, right?
No, screw the money. I'm saying in enjoyment, in fun. Is it worth it? I know for a fact that you've been wanting an offshore for a very long time, and I think it's a fantastic bang-around watch for you.
It is.
I think it would fit.
Yes, it would. And
I still don't see you... I like the Daytona on you, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see you. When I see a Daytona, I don't see an individual who is very versed in the watch industry, right? So I don't look at a Daytona and say, well, that guy, he knows his stuff, right? It's just that guy knows what's hyped, and that's roughly it. Or he spent a lot of money with Rolex. Those are the 2 options.
I must say, wearing this Daytona is making me a superhero. No, it's actually not.
I'm sure.
It really. But
how much cooler is an AP Royal Oak or an AP
I don't know.
offshore?
I haven't worn one more for than a few minutes, right? On some meetups and stuff. So maybe it gives me the same superpower. I just have to wear it more consistently, man. But my point is, because it wears so comfortable, it looks really nice. I love looking at my wrist with the Daytona on it. So it's just, I love that watch. It's really cool, comfortable, right size, perfect on my wrist.
I mark my words, you're going to sell it soon. It might be down the line, but it's going to be sold. It's not going to be a permanent thing.
I have promised that I will keep that watch for 2 years. So that's what
but I'm saying it's not going to be a permanent addition to your collection.
Well, maybe not. But I wanted to have a Daytona as my only Rolex. If I sell a Daytona, then I can have either 2 other Rolexes that I like. I could get a Datejust, as you said, or
a 1908.
Yeah. Or I could just have, and then maybe a GMT.
You could get a platinum 1908 for that much money.
Sorry?
A platinum 1908 you could get for your Daytona.
Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not so sure. Dress watches I do like, as you know, but I'm not so sure if I would do that.
Yeah.
Options. There are so many options, of course. If you have
very
that
many
kind
options.
of money, if you have 100K for that watch, you can 100K dirhams. There's a lot of options you have, But for now,
I would say I've been noticing.
If I sell something, I think it's the lower shelf of my watch collection. My Breitling Super Ocean maybe can go a second time. I will not buy it again, I think, now that I have bought it again. Realized I really enjoyed wearing it a couple of times, but it's not really that much of a memory as I thought, because it was my first luxury watch, right? So I thought, meh. Feel maybe that can go. Maybe the Pelagos can go, even though I still like it a lot.
I think, honestly, if you want to sell it, as I told you, I think I would buy it from you.
The Pelagos 39? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think that's within my budget to just kind of willy-nilly say, yeah, I'll take it. So we speak later, offline. But I've said this for a while now. I think I would, I'd make you a very easy deal, and then we'd be done. But I've been, I like it. I wanted it. I've wanted a titanium watch for a while. Dive watches, I think, are my favorite genre. So I have nowhere to put it in the watch box. That's my only real concern.
The other thing is, I would have to find just wait what happens at with all my buying and selling. In any case, I will wait until Watches and Wonders.
No rush.
Watches and Wonders to see.
Let's see what happens there. Now,
see how much I need for the Platinum Omega Speedmaster.
The Platinum Omega. We'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah. But also on the new Timepiece 360 auctions, there was a watch that I liked.
Which one?
Essentially, there is and it's a cheap one. So a friend of mine named Patrick, his Instagram handle, if you guys want to check him out, is Relos Mio, RELOSMIO, and he's got amazing wristwatch pictures, by the way, like as in the wristwatch pics that he takes are fantastic. Nonetheless, he's got a banging collection too. He was selling a few things, moving some stuff around. He's the guy I bought the Timex Marlin from that I literally wore for 2 seconds and sold. But he has another cheap watch that he put onto the auction last time and didn't sell. And the watch is the Serica, what is it called? The Serica Field Chronometer. So essentially, this is with the California dial as well. So it's a super cool looking watch. He has the original bracelet with it. Then he has the original, you can buy extra, the leather strap, which is like a rally style leather strap. Looks awesome. And then in addition, you could buy end links for it, which would then fill, because the bracelet and the strap, of course, leave that gap. So you can buy for, I think, 150 euros end links as well. So the strap is about 200 euros. The end links are another 120. Plus the watch is about 1,000 euros. So all this together is probably close to 4,000 or 5,000 euros, 5,000 dirhams of value. He listed it last month or whenever for 3,000. It didn't sell. Yeah. And now he listed it for 1,200. And I think whoever gets that for 1,200, if that's the selling price, that is an insane bargain. It's a chronometer spec SW200 Salida movement, which is once again top essentially top grade for Salida. The same movement that's in my Doxa sub 300. So it's a super cool watch, 37.7 millimeters. And once again, it's a fully loomed. So essentially it's a black dial, but the everything that is written on it is loomed. And it's a California dial, which California dials are kind of weirdly cool somehow. Thoughts? Do you see it? Are you looking at it?
No, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, that's just let me check on the app then. Yeah. No, I remember the California dial. I checked that. Yes. I've seen this. Yeah.
So it's a really good deal, price. But I think if it doesn't sell, I will put in the 1,200 bid.
See,
I don't think I would go more because it's one of those opportunistic buys.
There is a couple of these cheaper watches this time, which are quite interesting, right? So I've seen there.
Like what? I only saw this one that popped out to me.
No, I think, for example, the Longines. There's a Longines flagship chronograph, which is quite nice. There's this master.
Hold on. I'm going to open it up.
Nice. But these are.
By the way, the people that are listening to this, you guys have already missed this. This auction ends in like 2 days, so don't even bother with what we're saying.
There is a Tag Heuer for 4,000 dirhams, which is the Jack Heuer version. There's a couple of interesting watches that are not too expensive, between the 1,000 and 1,500.
Is this Omega? Range. Is this Omega James Bond belonging to Theo?
Which Omega?
The 60th anniversary Seamaster.
I don't know.
Because I know the guy on our watch group named Theo was trying to sell this watch for a very long time. And I don't think he was very successful at it. And then I'm guessing this might be his.
Maybe.
No idea.
Who knows? I don't know.
But it's amazing how these went from not being accessible at all to now selling under retail value brand new. By the way, this Longines Legend Diver that's on here, the Skin Diver, is an absolute bargain. It is a massive watch, though, 55 millimeters lug to lug. So it's huge.
So and which one? Which one are you calling?
The Longines Legend Diver, the Skin Diver, the one with the external rotating bezel. That's a massive, gargantuan beast of a watch.
Yes. So what I think is a very good bargain is the what's it called, the Jaeger LeCoultre Super Exolab. Did you see that thing? It's a beast of a watch. It's a master.
If something's ugly, I just pass by it.
It's a master compressor Extreme Lab 2. So it has so many features, right? It has It has its rose gold case, has an external power reserve. It has the digital minute counter for the chronograph, flyback, all of this stuff. And
God.
It is
I don't know if that's a very good value. That's a nuts price.
It is a Richard Mille from Jaeger LeCoultre with an absolute amazing movement that has never been done before. And
wow.
And it's massive and it's big and it has all of these cool features. GMT, it has everything that you can think of inside this weird watch that is made with, I don't know, all of this different things, titanium and rose gold and whatever, and it's massively big and it has everything. However, retail price was 230,000. And that is already, I don't know when it was actually being sold, right? Today,
but this is being listed for 200,000. No, sorry, 59,000.
Yeah,
so it's a quarter of the
25%.
price.
Yeah, 25% of what it was.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That is crazy. I didn't know about that. Yeah. I didn't even look because the dial side, when you look at it, it looks disgusting. Yeah, but then when you start looking at the side profile,
it's pretty amazing. And this is when JLC went completely bonkers, right? When they had these absolutely insane watches. I don't know what they were thinking, what they were smoking. They just did things.
They don't know what they're thinking a lot of times.
Out there, right? They were so, and they were so ahead of time, I think, right? With that.
They go nuts a few times a year and then they
could have done, that could have been the whole Richard Mille thing, right? If you think about it.
It could have been. The other watch that I see that I want to mention, the Frank Mueller. I've noticed that the Frank Mueller Crazy Hours, which the Crazy Hours are extremely complicated watches. have been going.
It's an ETA movement, but it's a
Well, yeah, but it's a crazy hour function, or what a complication is cool.
Modified, yeah. It's a modified ETA movement.
So it's a cool movement, though. It jumps around.
But the one that is here, the Frank Müller on the auction.
No, this is not a Crazy Hours.
But it's a cool one. It's the Black Cobra. And if you've ever seen
14,000 dirhams.
Yes,
it's so
insane.
cheap.
Yeah,
and Frank Müller used to be extremely high-end stuff.
Yeah, this watch, I mean, I'm sure it was 50,000 at least, if not more.
Yeah.
But this Cobra is cool because it has the scaling of a snake, right? Of a black one. And
that's what I've always wanted in a watch.
It's so cool. It looks cool in this case.
So.
And I like the Vanguard case. I think it's very cool. It's pre-Richard Mille again.
You know what? It is pre-Richard Mille, but my favorite. Yeah. But my favorite Vanguard case of all time, I think, is the Bamford edition that he made with Snoopy, the white Snoopy.
Yes,
I think it's super cool. That one was super cool. I think that was Crazy Hours, though. This one is not. But I did see a Crazy Hours listed for, I think, 20K or something, which Crazy Hours used to cost much more than the regular ones. For those that don't know, the Crazy Hour complication basically was all of the numbers on the dial were jumbled, and the hour would randomly kind of jump around to the correct hour marker.
Yeah.
And then you could only tell the time based on what the number said. So let's say the 1 o'clock was in the 6 o'clock position. And then you would have to look at what that number says. And that's how you could tell the time.
It really didn't make reading the time very easy, but it was cool because every full hour, the hour hand would just snap onto the different time.
So in a totally different place, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, it could snap like almost 360 degrees around the dial.
Almost.
So cool stuff. Anyway, all right. That's a very good introduction for today.
Yeah.
So today we decided, we've had such a structured last couple episodes that we're just going to wing it today.
Yeah, because we're so structured all the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally the last episode was about the predictions. The one before that was with Julian. The one before that was God knows what. We've had guests. We've had everything. So let's just wing it and do our normal thing and just chit chat. What we have seen in the last couple of days, where we want to go, what we want to buy, because I've had a few, ideas as well, and I'll bounce it off of you, and we'll see what you think. But the first thing we did see was apparently Omega did release another Speedmaster.
I don't really understand this because I've seen the Seamaster a couple of weeks ago already on the Omega website. Speedmaster on the website, and it's the 3-to-1 in platinum. And we have, I think, even talked about this, that this is a 3-digit watch that's more expensive than the Platinum Daytona, and I think I shared this even with you in one of our chats.
No. We were talking about the gold at the time.
No,
we talked about we went through the gold. We were talking about the Sedna gold. 100%.
I talked about this watch already weeks ago and compared it to the 74,000 euros expensive Platinum Daytona for the list price, and that this watch is more than 30,000 euros more expensive.
Maybe I was absent that day.
I don't know. And because
maybe the listeners can confirm if Ralph actually said this or he said it in his mind.
Exactly. Somebody needs to help me.
I honestly believe we made the comparison for the gold. That's what I remember.
I think so. I think it was this one because there's the 60.
We looked up the plan.
Yeah, because maybe it's not. It was. I know that it wasn't available in our country. The platinum.
Well, all I know is that according to Fratello, it came out literally 4 hours ago.
Which is the weirdest thing. It is saying it is here, but this is so weird to hit retail. Because it's so weird
because he specifically says it's 3-2-1 with a flat-link bracelet. Was the old? I know there was an old platinum one. Maybe it was just a regular 3861 movement.
In 2019, they had the platinum. I mean, the watch head, the same one that is yet now used. That was there with a leather strap, right? I do know that there was a Is this the Moon watch? I guess it is, right? It's a Moon
watch. Is the Ed White.
Yeah.
So this is not the Moon watch.
But what is it called? Is it called
They
Ed
had a
White?
regular platinum moon watch, but this is the Ed White. It's a 321 Speedmaster. What they call it? I don't think it's not a
I think it was the
professional.
same.
So I have no idea what they could call it.
Huh. I don't know. Let me see the one that I'm seeing here. No, that's stainless steel. Well, there was one. I'm sure there was a platinum one. And it was in Germany and in Switzerland. It was available, and it was something ridiculous as in 100,000 euros. And I was thinking that is weird, right? The Omega Moonwatch Professional debuted in release here as a full platinum including resident version of reference. In 2019, it features a platinum case with ceramic bezels. Blah blah blah. Inside is a reborn version of Caliber 321. And it says here that this one is the one from 2025. Maybe it was just a few weeks ago. That was possible. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
I think
so
so.
I've seen this watch on the Swiss website a couple of weeks ago, and it was already there, 100 and something thousand Swiss francs. Maybe I did this in a different podcast. I don't know. I was invited to talk to a couple of other people recently. It was fun. But it was in German, so who knows? Who knows? Anyhow, so I think I did this because Omega was outpricing themselves. I thought about this because I think they are just overpricing themselves so much because they're trying to not be compared to Tudor. Right, because
we said this. We talked about this already.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's why they're poof, bang, puff, and just shot themselves.
And once again, I told you I read this out. I got a message from my Omega dealer saying that as of I think it was January 1st, there will be no more discounts on Omega products.
Good luck. And there was a 7% price increase on the 1st of February. So just a few weeks ago.
So it was literally both at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
But I actually, let me go back to this. When I bought my first Omega, the one that I still have, the Speedmaster, and I bought a Tudor Pelagos at the same time, both were exactly the same price, $13,000.
Right.
And both had about 15% discount on it. No, sorry. The Tudor had 15% discount and the Omega had 30% discount at the time.
Right.
So it was both $13,000. So that meant, once again, they were head and heels with Tudor.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes, this is the problem. I mean, there were, let's say, like JLC, I think we can both, again, make this point that JLC and Omega were a bit underpriced for what they were. Right?
They were.
Okay.
And this is why we recommended them to everyone.
But now that they have super increased their prices so much, JLC by nearly 40%, right? According from 2 years ago, they have reached a price level where it's like maybe a bit too much, right? I think the whole Richemont groups have all a bit like brands have a bit
I agree.
pushed it a bit too high. So
there was a watch that recently dropped the price. Did you see this? I don't remember what it was, but there was a watch that dropped in price. I think it was discussed in the group.
Yeah, I think it was JLC who has slightly dropped the prices because they do actually react also in a negative way to the exchange rates with the Swiss franc.
Yeah, so this is I once again I told you this when I bought my my Cartier Santos. So it was mine that I bought used was bought at Mall of the Emirates. It was bought 6 months prior to me buying it. And the price on the receipt, on the invoice, was higher than the current sales price. And that's what got me thinking, what the hell? Like they must have a negative and positive reaction. It was not by much either. It was like 500 dirhams.
Yep. Yeah, that's...
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
There you have it. Yeah. So now talking about again about this new Speedmaster. Sorry for just to make sure that we cover that 105,000 euros compared to the already existing watch in the catalog with the leather bracelet. It's 35,200 euros more expensive than the leather bracelet.
Yeah, because you get a bunch of platinum.
And as we know, platinum is how much more
Heavy.
expensive than gold?
Mm.
Not that much, I think.
I don't know anything about it. Don't
think
look at me.
Platinum is more expensive than gold, but it's not really.
I just know it's heavier. That's all I know.
It is definitely heavier, and it's of course more premium, but it's not that entirely. 35,000 euros. That is just insane for a bracelet, right?
But if you want something in white metal, once again, we know this, right? White metal, such as white gold, will discolor over time. So white gold is essentially a treated yellow gold. So depending on what is in it.
Two ways, right? There's the rhodium-plated white gold, and then there's the real white gold that doesn't have any plating, right?
Which is I'm guessing Rolex is using, the not rhodium plated. They're mixing chemicals, not chemicals.
No, this is not rhodium.
What do you call it? Different metals?
Yeah, correct.
Is it rhodium plated?
It's not rhodium.
It's not, yeah, because then it would essentially wear down, right? So with the white gold stuff, you will slowly start to realize that a little bit of pink or yellow is peeking through, right? So you see this in jewelry. But in platinum, you would never have this. That's the beauty of platinum in jewelry, at least.
Okay.
You see this a lot with people who got white gold wedding rings.
Okay. So I'm just seeing here that an ounce of platinum is currently it's currently around 1,000. What is this here? Dollars? Yeah, dollars per troy ounce, and gold is pretty high, close to the 3,000. So gold is more expensive than platinum. There you go.
Oh, okay. Is one harder to work with?
Even if
well,
would
there
it
you
make
have
it? I think. Anyhow.
All right. Now that we've discussed this to death, let's talk about what we want to do with our watch collections now that we're both content and satisfied. That's what I want to talk about.
You know what I do? See, I just sometimes, in the middle of the day, I just had a, stressful or exciting in the negative way.
You go and you open your watch box.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, me too. I do this as well.
Take out the watch. I just fondle a bit. Sometimes I set it. I wind it a bit. Just make sure that my annual calendar is also on the current date. Little things like that, right? Give them a little love.
I do this as well. I open the watch box and stare.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's time for a strap change. So I take out the straps in this 20 millimeters or 22 millimeters, whatever I have. Take a look at all of the straps, which one could fit, and then I change them. And it's a nice thing.
I do this
it's very
all the time.
Meditative.
It is.
Makes me happy.
My watch box is in the guest bedroom, so I have my entire wardrobe is in the guest bedroom, and I have the bed in there, right? So I literally will lay out. Yeah. All of these straps for that one particular watch, and I will literally go strap by strap to see what I want to change it to.
Right.
And then inevitably I will leave it on what it had originally on it.
That's happened
because I've done this so many times that I know which strap I want. So generally now what I do is I will leave all of my watches on a certain strap, and then if for that day I want to change it, then I'll change it for that day, and then I'll put it back to the regular one.
Yeah, so you know that I have bought this contraption which can, cut the hole for the quick exchange straps, and I bought all of the quick exchange spring bars. So since I have now converted every strap that I could get my hands on in my arsenal, so that makes changing straps so nice and easy that I really enjoy doing it now. So sometimes you feel like don't want to do it because some watches are harder than others, especially depending which strap is on it. But now that they're all easy to change, it's lovely. It's lovely.
Now, I got a question for you. Do you have watches with 19 millimeter lug width?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I do too. I have tons, and I have a ton of 19 millimeter straps. However, some of my straps did not come in 19 millimeters. What is your personal opinion about fitting 20 millimeter straps to 19 millimeter watches? Is it haram? Is it okay?
Halal or haram? I think it is. Is it kosher? It's the same thing. No, I think it's okay. I mean, it depends. Sometimes you can squeeze them in because it's not in really that much. Sometimes you need to cut off a tiny bit, which can be a bit of a challenge because you might really screw it up, right? So you have to be very careful what you're doing. If you squeeze it in, it depends on the leather as well, because I have a strap that is proper 22 millimeters and a watch that has a 20 millimeter lug width, but the strap is a bit broader than 22 millimeters and it squeaks. It squeaks when the watch is moving on your wrist. It makes it squeaks. So I need to actually just really push it a bit smaller. So that can happen when
WD-40. Just spray some WD-40 in there.
Exactly. Some silicone.
I'm sure it'll
or something.
be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I ask is I believe I'm very OCD about certain things, but this is one of the things that I don't really care about. However, I do have to say, some straps will get, depending on the measurements, will get permanently deformed if you leave it long enough on a smaller strap.
Yes.
I had this once. I had a 19 millimeter strap that I bought used from someone. And when it arrived, it had clearly been worn on an 18 millimeter watch. And there was, when I put it on a 19 millimeter watch, it was literally, there was 1 millimeter of room on the side.
Yeah, that's what we don't want. We can't have,
exactly.
We can't have
you
a
can
too
try
small
to get,
one. That's not...
So what I try to do, by the way, I try to get 2 pliers and you kind of give it a little tension and then get it back to normal. So that is also possible to kind of stretch it back. But it depends, once again, how long this has been worn on a certain watch. Also, if you have vernier calipers, you can always measure how close to 18, 19 these are. And I have a stack of 19s, right? And I have a stack of 20s. And they are all handmade, which means they're not all cut to the exact same size. Some are wider, some are narrower, some are 18 and a half, for instance. So in that case, you can use that much easier, or 19 and a half, on a 19 millimeter watch. Plus, I'm a strong advocate that NATO straps should only come in 20 millimeter, and those can be worn on 19 millimeter watches as well.
That is true. Most of them are a bit, when they're not too chunky nylon, if it's more
not like a Zulu strap. Yeah. So that's also okay in my book. But that was a random thing because I ended up, my favorite strap of all time is a super hairy suede one, and it's made out of kangaroo. And that one is only made in 20 and 18, was when Hodinkee was alive. So I had no alternative but to put it on the JLC, which is 19.
So now with the fire sale from Hodinkee and some other, watches that I had that are 21 millimeters and the watches that I still have that are 19 millimeters, I do now have quite a good selection of 19 and 21 millimeter straps. So I'm good.
That's good.
I don't think I still have a 21 millimeter watch at the moment, or do I?
The Pelagos.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. But for the Pelagos, I did never put this on a strap yet.
It's always on a bracelet. I know, and the bracelet's really good.
It's either the aftermarket bracelet from Uncle Straps, the Jubilee style, or the original one. So yeah. I had it on the rubber strap that comes with it, which is also nice. But
I have an idea.
Strap.
So you know how I have my Black Bay 54 on the rubber strap, on the factory rubber, right? And my factory rubber has a clasp, which yours does not. Which that's the one thing I didn't like about the Pelagos is they cheaped out and they give you a pin buckle.
I don't think it's a cheap out. They could have said like, oh, you have to take
either or. They could have.
The class from the other one, but that would be.
But now my question is because the end links slot in, but then the actual bracelet itself, the strap, will fit into there, right? That's how the rubber strap that you have works. Would the Black Bay strap fit into the end links of the Pelagos? Because that would be cool to have a Pelagos on a proper rubber strap with a proper buckle.
Yeah, possible. It might be. I don't know.
I think
we have to measure.
We have to measure. Things. Yes,
we have to measure.
Just in case I happen to buy this in one day.
Yeah, and otherwise you just take, the welding iron, and then you just
Oh,
go and
yeah, for
just
sure.
take it on, take a hammer, and then make it fit.
Definitely. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and you can
yeah.
always buy some platinum. Platinum is only 1/3 of the price of gold. Now, I just have to confirm that. It's really 3 times more. Gold is 3 times more expensive than platinum. And yet, we think platinum is more expensive in the watch world because they manipulate us.
Tell this to... Yeah, who came up
Omega.
with this?
I don't know. It's like...
No,
it's like,
but what about Rolex? Same with Rolex.
Yeah. Platinum. Oh, platinum.
Platinum is you get ice blue dials.
Only with the platinum. And it's more expensive than the gold version. Yeah. So it's weird, no?
And the whole thing, we cannot make fluted bezels in platinum. Remember that? That was a whole thing.
Too hard.
That was too hard. But now all of a sudden they can.
Because technological advancement, research and development, the gazillion and trillions that they spend into research and development now enables them to make a fluted bezel. Because that's more, you could cure cancer, or you can just make a fluted bezel out of platinum. So priorities, where you put your research money.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, I mean, this is, of course, a joke. Watch companies in the business of making watches. So, of course, they research their technology for that. So, yeah, my watch collection is lovely at the moment. I have everything filled. I do feel that there could be a couple of watches can go. That are some side things like my Timex that I bought from Hodinkee. These little things, right? Another moon swatch that I have that I never wear, even though I really wanted it in black, right? I was so happy to get it eventually. Mm-hmm. And then I bought this lovely rubber strap for it, which fits it perfectly. It's black with 2 gray stripes on it, which looks perfectly fitting it. And yet, I'm not wearing it. Right, I wore it like 3 times, and it's just these things. I better let them go, or I, donate. I mean, not donate. I gift it to somebody, or so. I don't know. It has to go. Has to do something because it just makes no sense, and that's the slightly unnerving part sometimes, right? When you have watches, and then you have the watches that you're trying to sell and nobody wants to buy for a reasonable price, which is also a bit annoying. I am a person who's willing to go really low, right? Just to let it go and just not bother me, right? Because it's a burden to a certain extent to have watches you don't want and you can't sell them. And they're just occupying space and you don't want that.
But is it, you could always sell it for the right price. What that right price is not going to be your price.
Yeah, but I just refuse sometimes to give it to people who don't deserve that price. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Some people, some of these lowballers will literally lowball me, and I will tell them, I would rather give it to a homeless person than sell it to you for that price.
Exactly. That's exactly my thinking. And I do that, right? To give it to a car cleaner.
A friend or something. I did this. What did I give away? I gave away something as well recently. And I just gave it away to a friend because I'm not going to deal with this nonsense. I'm not going to die over the 200 dirhams. Right?
No, so I've done that to certain
And I'm
things.
also, the other thing is, I'm also not going to, make any 0 bit of effort for something that, is 50 dirhams. And I see that people, on the group and other places, they're listing things or trying to sell things for absolute peanuts. In my compound, for instance, I see that people put up like 5 dirhams for, a piece of furniture. And I'm like, do you really need the 5 dirhams? Just put it up for free. Put it outside your house. Somebody will take it. You don't need 5 dirhams.
You know what happened to me recently?
And you took time to take the pictures and put it on the stupid, Facebook group.
I recently had something that I gave away for take away my junk or something, junkremoval.com or so, right? Something that was definitely worth still a few hundred dirhams, but it was bulky. I just wanted it to go, right? So I called them, they came, they picked it up. And then the guy who picked it up said, "You have a tip for me?" I said, I just gave you something
don't
worth,
get me started with
a
this.
few hundred dirhams. And I said, yeah, but this goes to the boss. I thought,
you have a tip for me.
I give away
No,
something
it's
for free.
absolutely
You want me to
ridiculous.
pay for it? They're like, this just doesn't compute for me, man. And
Do you have a tip for me? I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
frankly.
exactly. I was just like, when you have this complete dumbfoundedness, and you think like, what? Just give you something worth a couple of hundred. Anyhow, but of course, I can understand that he's the driver or the person who transports it. He's not making the money, right? But
And
still,
is that my fault? Am I
No,
liable
of
for
course
this?
not. That's what I'm saying. It's just like when you are completely dumbfounded and think like, everybody needs tips now. I mean, nobody gives me a tip when I do my job, right? Nobody.
Yeah,
I just do my job and everybody is okay with it. But other people, apparently, when they're doing their job, they deserve a tip, even though they're getting paid for their job, right? I understand if you're not paid for your job, or if you do really good work, then I'm happy to tip, right? But just like, like when you nowadays, when everybody is asking you, do you want a tip? And you think,
no, I've never wanted to tip. I never will want to tip, and I never will.
you go to a drugstore and then somebody was like, do you want a tip? Like, what?
No, I had this as well. I had a painting guy for all the hail damage that we had in the neighborhood, and the guy they have to go through and paint all of the exterior walls for all of the all of the villas. Well, essentially, for the balcony, they had to come inside the house, so I had to let them in, right, to paint the balcony area.
Sure.
And then when he leaves, he goes, "Can I have a tip? You have money for me?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." Like, it was like some 18-year-old Egyptian kid, by the way. So I kind of felt bad, but like, I was joking with him, chatting with him, just to kind of, why not? But then he asked for a tip. And I'm like, why do you have to take everything and make it about money? I just, it really bugs me. I mean, once again, he's working on behalf of the compound, right? I have nothing to do with this. So every house he goes into, he's going to ask them for money. How does this look for the compound, for instance, right? You hire these people, you don't pay them well enough that they, obviously, even if you paid them well enough, they would still ask for tips. So that's not, I think that's a cultural thing.
I mean, look, no, it's either also.
And not to mention, you go to these souks, right? These like carpet souks and these kinds of things, and you negotiate a price. And I did this recently after the hailstorm. We had a bunch of, all of our rugs were, trash essentially. So I go to the carpet souk. I got a guy. I went, negotiated a price. We agreed. And then he goes, tip? I'm like, what do you mean tip? I bought something from you. Like, what?
He just negotiated.
For what am I giving you a tip? Like, I went to the store, I purchased the item, and then you ask for a tip.
But see, this is the difference. I don't mind tipping a person if he gives me a good price, right?
But that's the price. Then say that it's 50 dirhams less and keep 50 dirhams for yourself.
But you know the difference there. I think it's like, I also like to tip, for example, everything that happens in my house. If people come to paint the walls and say, like, okay, but I'm very particular. I want a really good job. I want you to be very, very careful and very detailed. So I give you half your tip now and the other half of the tip if you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Right? And then usually you get people who are really motivated, right? Because they know they're getting something. That's already cool. And then it's good. Because you want especially craftsmen, you want good craftsmanship, right? So you don't want to get annoyed that you have paint.
Well, let me just tell you, this guy that painted my balcony, he was painting the holes where the hail had hit. And the balcony had, over time, I don't know. I think it used to be off-white. I think it was off-white at the beginning. It might have been white. I don't know. But now it is off-white.
Yes.
And he painted in those spots with white. Because they didn't paint the whole thing. They just painted over the holes, right? And I told the guy,
painted the holes or just
no. They cemented it. They filled them with cement, and then they put a little white paint over it. And
but just on the
So now I have a leopard essentially balcony. Nonetheless, because I told him, I was like, this doesn't match, and he's like, tip, and I'm like, no tip. But then I'm
if you give me a tip, then paint the entire wall.
No, because he said he doesn't have that color. He only had one color of paint, right? But my thinking is maybe this will then discolor and the other one was white and they're not paint matching because over time it will yellow.
Yeah, see,
from the elements. I don't know.
It's like I had my bathrooms refurbished.
It's
right?
patina. It's vintage patina.
Yeah, and I have, and you know the person who's doing the job, he's coming in or organize the project manager, whoever comes in and says like, oh yeah, right, these tiles, yeah, no problem. These are standard tiles for EMA, whatever, no problem. We have them, no problem. Yeah, we can do this. Okay, great. So we wanted new tiles on this area, half here, half there, different things, accent, strip, and whatever. All fine. Then everything is removed. The tiles were supposed to come, and it says like, yeah, sir, but the tiles are not available. They are too old. I said, but you told me they're there. Yeah, well, they're not. And you think, great. So now all of our design choices for the other tiles, and you have to rethink it, right?
Yeah.
Also, the same thing was like, how long will it take? It will take about 4 to 5 days. 3 weeks later, we had the people still here. You know how nice that is when your master bathroom is for 3 weeks out of order? Yeah, it was.
I do know. My entire living room was out of order for 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
I do.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, but yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Anyhow, talk about now nicer things. Watches. So that's when time goes slower, right? When these things happen. And by the way, there's now a lot of these services where you could like safety deposit boxes here in the region, right? Where you, at least in Dubai, where you can rent smaller deposit boxes for about 1,000 dirhams a year. And then they're insured as well. So it's actually getting more affordable nowadays. They used to be pretty expensive. If you
and why are you doing this?
No, just in case if you want to do this when you're not at home, when you're going on vacation or something like that. I mean, we are in a very safe neighborhood. We have concierge and security and all of this stuff. So I don't feel like anything is being stolen here in my home. But if you have a villa and you don't want to leave it alone, and you don't have a safe or whatever, then it's a good option because it's not too much.
I had no idea.
Or if you want to, of course,
or you could do what Martin does and hide it all over your house. Hide stuff.
Yeah,
so that I can't, when I come back from vacation, I have no idea where I hid things. Like I will take, my Rolex and I'll be like, okay, Rolex goes into a pouch and then it gets hid somewhere. And I will, it must be 2 weeks after I've come back. I'm like, where the hell did I put the Submariner? I have no idea. And no, it's like beyond sock drawer level stuff.
Okay.
I also hide the car keys as well. For anyone listening,
yeah.
It's a fun activity for you while I'm on vacation.
Whoever wants a 15-year-old Mitsubishi Pajero.
Yeah, in case you want a 10-year-old Mitsubishi Pajero, you can look for the key. But yeah, it's been a few. And actually, the Pajero is always with us at the airport, so that you can.
No, but and that reminds me of, and this is, dear listeners, this is why you learned so much about life on our podcast. I learned in a shocking development recently that squirrels, that are always considered to be the smartest animals on the planet because they squirrel away all of the nuts, during the summer. You get their seeds and the nuts and they hide them. And then in the winter, they go back exactly to their hiding places and get the nuts. And I thought, how smart are these? Hundreds of different hiding places they have, right? On average, I think 300 or something, different hiding places for their, seeds and nuts. Now it turns out scientists have actually done this and they have actually looked at or followed the squirrel, and they found out that they forget about 50% of them. I was shocked. I thought these are the smartest animals in the world because they can remember every single hiding place.
No, they're
basically what they do is, I guess, in their mind is like, if I were a squirrel and I would have hit this nut, where would I have gone? So this is basically how they find their hiding places. They don't memorize them. Ah, man. So it was a bit Yeah, it was a bit more instinct driven than I thought.
Disheartening for you, yeah.
I was the poor. I mean, the squirrels.
And
not
on
as
that
smart.
troubling bombshell, I think it is time for us to end this squirrel-filled episode.
Yeah, that's, you reminded me of that squirrel because you thought like I hit everything and I can't find it anymore.
But the thing is, I need to find it because I'm not going to lose my watches. So I then after oh my goodness, I've done some ridiculous things. A lot of them in smelly, dirty shoes, dirty underwear hamper kind of places. Who's digging through your dirty underwear? Like,
yes,
if you have a criminal that digs through dirty underwear, you got some mental issues. Top travel tip, guys. This is what I always do. Make sure if you want to hide something like a watch while you're, in a hotel room, hide it in the dirty clothes bag, because you'll have like a bag of your dirty clothes, right? Just put it right in the middle. Make them really, if they want to take it, make them go for it.
Since you revealed this now, you can now also take this off your list because now it's out in the open.
Yeah. I'm assuming the people listening to our podcast aren't the ones cleaning the hotel rooms. If you are, write to us at Lume Plotters on Instagram. I will make a public apology. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Now, seriously, on that bombshell, I think
thanks for listening.
Time to end. I hope you. Yeah. Next week.
Next week,
I hope
more
you liked
something very interesting. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. And this time, I hope you like the ramblings.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.